Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I would like to share with you a fantastic game played by the 10th World Chess Champion Boris Spassky. His opponent is Russian chess grandmaster Ratmir Kholmov, and this game was played at 1971 Soviet Team Championship. But before starting the game, please take a look at this position and try to find the winning move for black. I will wait for your answer in the comment section. And now, without further ado, let's go for the game and see what happened on the board. Spassky opened up with e4 and e5 by Kholmov, knight f3, d6. We have the Philidor defense, d4, e takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, bishop e7. Here the most popular move is bishop e2, but in our game we have g3. White is going to flank to his light squared bishop, bishop g2, bishop g4, queen d2, knight c6. Of course, this move is blocking the dark squared bishop's diagonal, but later we will see that Spassky had different ideas with his queenside bishop. The bishop retreats back on d7, we have knight e2, rook e8 and b3. White is also going to flank to his dark squared bishop. Meanwhile, black is starting an advancement on the queen side in hope of creating counter-attacking chances. Bishop b2 and queen b8. Black is bringing his queen on b8 in order to support his b pawn, but of course this is a dubious decision, an idea which leads to nowhere, and now white is gradually starting to gain advantage. Here Spassky castled king's side, and in return black played b5. Knight d5, knight takes d5, e takes d5, knight d8. Now if we have a look at the board, black pieces are placed somewhat awkwardly, and in return white has a space advantage and great attacking chances. Of course, all this gives white advantage. We have rook e1, bishop f8, knight f4, and c5. Not a good idea, of course. Black proceeds with his pawn storm, but it was better to think about the activation of his pieces, like playing knight b7, and then if possible bishop f5, knight c5. But in our game, after knight f4 we have c5. Now comes knight h5, after which we have the exchange of rooks on e1 and h6. With this move, black actually steps into a brutal combination, but even if it weren't this move, it was very difficult to find a good continuation for black. Now we have reached the critical position, and now you can pause the video and try to find white's next moves. Ready? Well, everything is ready for the final blow, and using the fact that black pieces are misplaced awkwardly on the queen's side and the power of this bishop, here Boris Spassky went for queen takes h6 sacrifice. Look at this brutal move, guys. Right now the threat is bishop takes g7. That's why black is virtually forced to accept the queen sacrifice, after which we have knight f6 check, king h8, and knight takes d7, discover check, king g8. Of course, in here this simple knight takes b8 is also winning, and then rook e8. Black won't manage to save this position, but after king g8, Spassky made the most precise move and played rook e8. The rook is coming after the bishop on f8, after which this light squared bishop can join the attack, and yes, looks like that black king is in a mating net. Here black played knight c6, but even in here Spassky didn't pay attention to the queen and captured the knight. Look at this, guys. Queen a7, this checking queen is escaping. But let's have a look. What if queen takes e8? Then in this case, knight f6 check is coming, and then knight takes e8. If king g6, then knight c7, and then knight takes b5, after which white can play c7, and then bishop b7. Yes, white is winning. In our game, after d takes c6, we have queen a7, and after c7, finally Ratmir Kholmov resigned. Let's take a look at one of the possible lines. If queen takes c7, then knight f6 check is coming, and then rook takes a8. The threat is knight d8 check. If queen e7, then this time knight d8, and yes, this is going to be an easy win. That's why after c7 finally we have a resignation. A very impressive queen sacrifice by Boris Spassky, which I hope that you enjoyed greatly. Thanks for watching. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. Also press the bell button to get notified about new uploads. I will see you in my next video. Good luck.